The Better on Draft podcast is recorded live in Royal Oak, Michigan. Now, pop that 40 and kick back with your hosts, Dan, Nick, Ken, Rob, Matt, and Angela.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 117 of the Better on Draft podcast. My name is Ken. In studio are all of the hosts. Let's start off to my left. Nick, how you doing?
It's great to be back with 4 working tires this time.
4 working tires. How was that for you? I heard
that was a very shitty experience.
Oh,
It's the 3rd tire I've lost in the last 7 or 8 months, and I had to wait an hour and a half.
I had a record like that, but I also drive a lot more miles than you.
How many miles are you driving right now?
Probably around 3,000 a month.
So 3 times. I think you and X are on par almost.
About 45,000 a year.
Okay, I'm averaging about 30. So yeah, you got me.
Just a little.
That's normal. That cannot even be close to normal.
Yeah.
Well, for his work, probably yeah, and for my work, most definitely.
Yeah, last week I went to Grand Rapids, then back home, same day. Then I went to Cleveland the next day and back home.
Sorry.
And then I went to Portage the next day and went back home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then I went to
I'm
Grand Blanc the next
stressing.
2 days. Yeah. So Grand Blanc was my short drives.
I don't go nearly as far, so I started in Sterling Heights, go to Farmington Hills, and from Farmington Hills to Shelby Township, then to Romeo, and then back to Sterling Heights.
Next time you go to Romeo, here's a little tip.
Okay.
Stop at Tomato and Basil.
Oh, I was just gonna say
Tomato,
that.
okay.
And get a 3-cheese Bianca.
No, it's or a white Blanca,
It's a 3-cheese Bianca.
whatever.
Okay.
It's the greatest pizza
Okay.
you'll ever put in your face hole.
I will check that
It's
Maybe
what
I'll
your
bring
mouth
some
was made
next
for.
week.
Well,
Speaking of your mouth being made for something, what are you drinking?
I'm triple fisting.
What a segue.
I know, right?
Nice job, Hugh Downs.
I got a little taste of the Southern Tier Thick Mint. And I cracked open this Making Memories Irish Stout
That's
from
a heavy
Ellison.
beer, too.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to be able to finish it. And then this thing that Angela poured. What is this one?
PB Nemesis.
PB Nemesis. Who is this
Peanut
from?
butter.
Peanut Butter Nemesis.
From
Who's this?
Brown Iron.
From Brown Iron. Okay.
In Washington Township,
Made by
Michigan.
Brown Iron.
And where's Brown Iron Brew House at, Angela?
Washington Township.
And what mile roads?
Just north of 26. I've never referred
26
to
in Van Dyke.
I never refer to it as that. It's so hard to say.
We got that out of the way early.
What do you typically refer to 26 mile as?
26.
26 mile. But when someone asks me where, no
just
one
asked you
asks
where
me.
it is,
No one asks me where I'm located. I just say
Well, where are you located then?
Washington Township.
I think she missed the question.
So while you're pouring me a glass of that Making Memories, Nick, Rob, what's going on?
Please.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. How about you?
I'm doing well. What are you drinking over there?
I've got the PB Nemesis and also just cracked open a Old Nation Boss Tweed. So
The Tweed.
That's
Tweed.
some very different beers for sure.
Smoking them Tweeds
yeah,
all day.
yeah, damn right. Hey.
It's definitely
Smoke Tweed
Friday.
every day.
Yeah.
Everyone's drinking like a 9 or 10% beer.
That's how we live our life. That's how
I was
we
gonna
live
say
our
we
lives.
live our lives above 10% apparently on this show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it's like there's the specific shows where just everyone. I feel like we all should be tanked, but I think we've been doing this long enough to understand. Like I'm just gonna have a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this,
And then you get the little mini hangover.
I do drink a lot. That was one thing. So I drank a lot of beer at bowling on Monday. I hadn't bowled in a long time, like 8 months.
Yeah, so for those, Ken bowled with me and a couple of our other friends
Plus
on Monday.
$10 to you somehow.
Yeah, I know. That was awesome.
So
Bowled on Monday night.
I finished like a pitcher and a half of beer, and usually I'll have like a mini hangover after because I was drinking Blue Moon
Yeah.
or whatever type of beer like that.
Belgian Moon?
No, we were in America, so it was Blue Moon. And I literally, like, for every glass of beer, I had a glass of water. So I like
You were pretty good about
one-on-one,
it.
I was very fine. Like I wasn't drunk, and I woke up just fine, not hungover. I'm like, man, this feels pretty good. But we do have another host, Angela. How you doing?
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
What are you drinking over there?
I have the peanut butter stout from Brown Iron. That's also 9%, I think, 9 or 10. And then
It's
I've
10%
got
according to
Tastes like
Untapped.
Northern Trippin' from Tapestry, and I have some other freebies. These are all freebies from the beer conference last week.
Nice.
There was just beer everywhere, so we just took a lot of it.
How was the conference?
It was good.
Yeah,
Lots of interesting stuff.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot?
Yeah. There were specific
What did
things
you
I wanted
learn?
to talk about, and now I can't. I should've
Who
wrote
who
them.
who hosted this conference? Was it the Brewers Guild?
Yes.
It was. Okay. All right.
Yes, it was interesting. Some things that were brought up were, if marijuana is made legal, how does that affect our industry?
Really?
Is there a consensus on that one?
I think it'll negatively affect it. People will spend their money elsewhere.
I think
Personal
people are
opinion.
already spending their money elsewhere.
Well, if
they're
it's
It's just gonna be taxed. That's all.
Right.
it's going to be taxed, but more people are going to purchase it. They're going to purchase it legally because they'd rather go spend the extra money for the legal stuff, knowing that they'll get regulated marijuana,
Yeah.
than going to their local dealer because their local. On what grounds?
I just think the money's already being spent there. We just don't know about it because it's not regulated. So I don't think it'll affect it that much.
And we can put it in beer, and it'll be fantastic.
Well, that too, but
Can't wait to
wouldn't
dry pot something.
I can't wait to hear the names.
Yeah.
That's all I want to
I mean, it'll be
hear.
just like
Weed
every,
beer names.
just like every
It'd be
New
the same.
England. You know?
The same damn names we're already using.
Yeah, dirty dank juice. Or
Blue
Right.
Magic.
I mean, all the damn the
sour
boss
diesel.
tweet.
Afghanistani Bush.
Exactly.
that's the
Shimbo
Matt
the
Bush
monkey.
collaboration that he
No,
does.
that's the Anheuser-Busch collab.
Oh, gotcha. What are you drinking over there, Matt?
I've already finished my PB Nemesis, so I'm back onto my Diet Vernors. Trying to cleanse the palate.
Trying to cleanse the. I didn't know Diet Vernors was a good palate cleanser.
It tickles the
gingery.
palate.
It tickles the palate.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a lot of beer that we're going to be trying today. Welcome back, a now second time guest. My first time meeting you, Spencer. How you doing?
Doing fantastic yourself.
I'm all right, and you are from.
Dragonmead Microbrewery.
Yeah.
And how long has Dragonmead been open for?
Since 1997, so we're looking at 21 this year.
21
All
years.
grown up.
How long have you been
Fully
there for?
legal, huh?
I've been full-time for about 10 years now.
Wow.
Been bar backing since I was about 16 there. My whole life has been there.
All right.
Nice. Very, very nice.
So why don't we at least crack something open so we can start talking about it?
What do you guys want to start with? Because I got some interesting things. You just want to go simple and start with the Sin Eater.
We actually had the Sin Eater not long ago.
Well, let's do it.
Jeez.
Gee, man.
Who gave you Sin Eater?
I did.
Okay.
I came and I brought it. It was actually one of our mystery beers.
Is there anything that you brought that's not like part of like the main lineup? Obviously, you have the Sin Eater, you have the Juggernaut, the Final Absol.
I brought mostly not the main lineup.
Okay, cool. All right, then.
So,
then
That's
just,
good. That's good.
then-
What's your favorite of what you brought?
Well, right now I brought mostly a bunch of collabs actually.
Oh, really?
I want to do some talking about the industry kind of working together to be more of a unified industry again.
So
And,
I'm just gonna point this howler. Let's
Okay.
let's talk about that one first.
This is the Scullis. It's a Scottish strong ale.
oh, where's Dan? I guess I'm the cameraman.
Yep.
And this is a collab with this was a collab with Eastern Market Brewing at the time with Hazen Schumaker.
Oh,
And this is from a recipe from Rob Scullis, who was one of the OGs at Bell's back in the day, where Hazen got to his start.
nice.
And he passed away not too long ago, a little bit ago now. But it was in memory of him for that particular beer. So it's a big beer. We don't sell it in full pints.
Oh, really?
So
Would
we're
that be
all
like
going to
a-
have full pints of this.
Oh shit!
Would that be a snifter beer then?
Yes, it was
Or
a
tulip?
snifter beer. Actually, I'm going to
Yeah,
take
go-
it
yeah,
down
you
and pass
pour
it
the-
around here.
Oh yeah, that's Scottish. That's a Scottish.
It's thick.
Oh yeah,
It's
smells thick. Here, I'll pass that on to Ken.
So what was the name of it again?
Scullis.
Skulls.
Scullis. We're gonna pass it. Hey, what's this one come in at?
Pass that to.
Like
Just
11.
gonna keep going down the
Oh
line.
shit!
Ours goes to 11.
Goes all
11.
goes to 11.
So we need 2 more and then 1 for
Whoa.
you.
It's definitely fragrant.
Yes.
Fragrant. Matt says. Okay.
Flagrantly fragrant.
Flagrant. Oh, what is this? Is this the NBA?
This
I would
is
say flagrant 1 or 2.
Probably.
this is
It's like a
no,
3.
flagrant 11.
So I brought some pretty dark things today. I brought some lighter ones as well, but why not?
Start with the dark ones
Yeah,
and then with the yeah.
Start off with a
I'm
bane. Let's get us talking a little bit.
Rob saying wow over there.
I'm all right with it.
If Rob's saying wow, that means that it's,
It's
gonna
crisp.
kick all of
It's
us.
not heavy.
It fermented out pretty well. It was pretty large beer.
I'm
not
getting
bad.
almost like a fruity,
I was thinking
like a
it too,
stone fruit
kind
kind
of.
of.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was getting some like licorice.
Well,
Now-
we get it's a whole lot of I believe Special B and some other really dark crystals in there. A lot of adjuncts too.
So Matt, you're the one that doesn't like the darker beers.
Yeah, I think
That's why I asked you this first.
So there's kind of a funny story about this episode. Like Spencer and I, we were sitting at Baffin on his way home from work.
I thought it was boffin.
I'm gonna boffin you upside the head. And we were, I don't know what we were drinking. You were drinking something dark.
Everything. No.
Yeah, you were drinking something
Everything.
dark, and I was drinking something light, like usual. And I said, I just don't like dark beers. And you said, oh, I'm gonna come on and bring dark beer. And
Sure.
I mean, you're 1 for 1. This is not something I could drink a lot of, but I could sip on this. I mean, this is a beer.
Something that you would get again.
not
Not like not
consecutively.
well, obviously not consecutively if it comes in 11% because it just knocks you on your ass. But-
I mean, not unless I lived on Bunnert, which, if you don't know, that's the
yeah, I
street
know
that
where Bunnert is.
Dragon. Well, this is an audio medium.
I
so
know.
That's the street.
It's
that
in between
Shaner and Hoover.
Shaner and Hoover. Yeah, there
But
we
it's
go.
the street that Dragonmead is on. So unless I'm on Bunnert, I'm not going to have more than one of
I thought
these.
it's technically on the service drive.
It is technically on the service drive, but the cross street is Bunnert.
Yeah, it's true.
And people don't live on a service
Yeah.
drive, but they would live on a residential street like Bunnert.
There's some houses on service drives, aren't there? I don't know.
Is
We're
that what it
we're
says?
getting slightly off topic.
Right.
Just a little bit. So
Better on domiciles.
if only we knew someone who could help you get that house.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Spencer, how you've been with the company for over 10 years?
Oh, this is a family company?
Yes.
So, I mean, this is in your family's DNA too, then.
Yes. Yeah.
So this isn't just something that you work at. This is
No, it's been my whole life. I did my first all grain batch when I was 10.
Oh man.
For
What?
Yeah. All grain. I did mead before, but the all grain was at about 10 years old. I went to the make your kid do your work day or whatever it was, and I decided to kind of up a cream ale, and I made what I called my working class ale.
It's like the Crusher
Yeah. Now,
or the Thrasher.
the Thrasher over at
yeah.
Sellerman's.
Now, I didn't put the yeast in or anything because we weren't sure on how the rules worked. I can easily convert sugars. There's no problem with any legality
Yeah,
in
it's like
that.
cooking. Why
But
not?
who knows if I can legally create alcohol when I was 10. So the yeast was put in by someone else. And at that point, after about 3 weeks, after I cleared everything, I did a double boil and boiled off the alcohol. And then for some of the batch, and then gave it to my teachers after a forced carbonation. And because I couldn't just bring booze into school.
you did. You did take it to school, though, right?
Well, I mean, after I boiled off the alcohol
Oh, okay.
and made
Right.
a non-alcoholic beer out of that.
Oh, so you made it pop.
I made soda. I went a long way to make soda.
Curious what your teachers felt like bringing in non-alcoholic beer.
There was mixed feelings about that.
Like, what are they teaching these kids these days?
Yeah, 'cause I was always really big into chemistry, really big into biology, and I would do a report on just on winemaking, and I'd do bad because you're not supposed to have kids talking about wine in school. I did a crappy report on electroplating and aced it. And it's like I wouldn't even try for this one. Come on.
So, well, it's interesting because I'm curious too what the legalities are, because the old head brewer over at I want to say it's Blue Cow or Raven Brewing up in Big Rapids was at one point 20 years old.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, I did the wine program at Dragonmead when I was 18.
Okay.
I mean, in order to serve alcohol and I guess to touch alcohol, all you have to be is 18 years old.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you'll be drinking it. You just have to be able to make it. And
It's also 19 now in Ohio. Fun little fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Legal-
went
legal
to.
age and
They changed the legal age of service for beer to
service, okay.
19 in Ohio because I went and opened up a brewery for my job, and they hired someone, and then she couldn't serve because she was 18 and not 19.
Jeez.
So they kept her on because they felt bad. Like, hey, we offered you this job. You waited like a month for us to open, so we'll keep you, and you can serve food and be a host, but. Yeah, she can't touch alcohol until she's 19, apparently, in Ohio
What a
now.
the
bummer.
government keeping us safe right there.
Well, that's interesting because Ohio was starting to get more progressive with their alcohol limits because they just recently changed the ABV maximum that they had not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. That was a bill that Kasich got because I wanted to say
Stone, was it?
well, Stone and I think New Belgium both were going to build breweries in Ohio, Stone at least, and they turned down because they couldn't brew all their beer there. So they're like, well, we'll go to, I think that's why they went to Asheville. They were supposed to go to Columbus, I believe. But because of the 10% maximum on beer in Ohio, and this is like it in a few other states, like Georgia, I know has a maximum. And I remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, when Founders sent the wrong batch of KBS to Georgia. Because they had them cap KBS at 10% in Georgia, and they sent them like 12 or 13% KBS, and of course that's illegal KBS there.
So do people like send that back? Is that like?
Well, stores had to send it back, so I
you
would
think any
assume.
fell off the truck?
Did anyone send it back for real?
Oh yeah, I would think you'd have to. I'm sure there'd probably be liabilities
Yeah,
if
you
you're
might
not.
lose your license or something like that.
Yeah,
We just dropped it all on the floor, and I mean, here's some broken bottles. There's-
What if you?
I don't know who's checking those licenses though, because you see all the Hop Slam being bought up and resold at some of those shops. So
Right, but I mean that's just being bought, and then I mean, who's really paying attention to somebody who? Because I remember seeing a picture of somebody in Meyer with basically a
pallet.
A U-boat. They're called
Like,
U-boats.
What
yeah,
if they
kind of
just
a
put their-
a U-boat, and he basically had something about 20 cases of Hop Slam he was buying in Meyer, and was probably gonna, he probably is gonna sell it at a bar or
which
something
is
like that.
highly illegal.
Highly
maybe
illegal.
he threw a really cool
I mean,
party.
that's federally illegal.
Right.
That's at a point of repackaging and reselling. That's
But who's going to be tailing this guy to watch what he does with those cases of Hop Slam?
Well,
Well, that's what I was thinking about the
Brendan
KBS.
Fraser.
Like, just throw it behind the counter and wait till people ask for it, and they could have probably gotten away with it.
So here's my question though. Say you run a bar in Georgia, right?
Uh-huh.
And you put in your order for KBS, and the barrel comes in and you tap it, and you expect it to be 10%, but it's 12 to 13%.
Uh-huh.
You've already tapped it. I know in Michigan you can't send back barrels that have already been tapped unless the seal's broken. So what if?
I'd be curious about that because I heard from the main beer buyer over at Hopcat when they had at one point, what's the Constellation one? Ballast Point. They had Ballast Point on draft. And when Ballast Point sold, the owner of Hopcat told the guy to untap it and send it back. Send back the keg.
we have gotten beers back actually that were tapped, and we've had to buy or distributors have had to buy them.
But typically it's because the beer's flat or the
Broken
seal on the
seal or
keg's
something, yeah.
broken. Like if I were the rep and Ballast Point had been sold, like that's completely not the rep's fault. It's not like he's negotiating.
But this is a recall though. This isn't.
I thought you said when Ballast Point was sold.
Oh yeah, for Ballast Point, yes. For Founders, I'm talking about a recall though.
Well, my thought is, where's the legality on? I own a bar. I'm selling beer that I think is fitting the law of 10%, but it's actually 12, 14%.
As soon as you know it's not, you're breaking the law. Then
Yeah, that would be my guess. Is that as long as
it's
you,
not in good faith,
yeah, if you sold it in good faith, like I'm sure stores sold it, I'm sure bars sold it, but once it becomes the fact that hey, we realized our mistake, we sent you the wrong one, I'm sure they send a mass email and a mass lettering out to all
Whoever's
these
doing
people.
the buying in Georgia for those distributors messed up by even letting it go out to market.
I don't know. They could have sent the wrong batch and the right marketing tools and the right bottles.
Oh, that'd be great. If you got a 15% beer and a 10% bottle.
I'd be curious what the legalities are would be there for, because do you need to have the ABV on your bottle? I don't think you do.
Nope, you do not.
And
Well,
that's
in
that's
Michigan.
In Michigan,
In
you don't.
Michigan.
And we only sell in Michigan, so
Forever?
We're looking into a couple places right now, but until we exhaust,
I mean, it's only took you 21 years. Are you sure that you're ready for it yet?
Well, a lot of it is, every one of the UP doesn't have a final Absolution in their fridge yet. Until they have that, why go anywhere else?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I recently had a debate on Facebook, which always ends well.
Never happens.
Because, facts are
That always
exchanged.
ends well.
Everyone agreed. Everyone was happy. It all ended in drinking beer.
What color is a properly poured final Absolution? Because I said it would be an amber, and someone was vividly saying it would be a light pale.
It should be a light pale unless the yeast is in. If there's a lot more yeast in it, it's a little bit cloudier, you'll get that kind of a color.
So there's no way for it to be dark, like a reddish.
No way for it to be reddish.
Okay.
We had actually, I was drinking a Labatt 2 days ago next to a buddy who was also drinking Final Absolution. It was kind of a dark bar, and I couldn't tell the difference just by sight.
Interesting.
So I'm looking at a bottle pour from some random person named Chip R on Untapped, and it does look like a brown amber type of pour. It's really interesting. Like, I wouldn't say pale at all. Here, I'll snap it and send you a text. But it would be interesting to see if I could, like, I understand beer is like, I love Final Absolution. I will tell you the story of Final Absolution before we take a break, because it's definitely a doozy that involves both you guys and Kuhnhenn. But yeah, I don't think I've ever even poured it. I think I just drink it straight from
It's a really, really pale beer. I mean, it should usually be a pale beer. We only use Pilsen malt and Munich and a clear candy sugar. So there's really no make it darker colors put into it.
My favorite story, Final Absolution, is
could be the light too. The light hitting it.
Definitely could be light.
Because this is a light, like not a dark area. Looks like somebody's dirty dishes behind it too.
where I used to play softball. They used to sell.
Oh, it does look dark.
They used to sell pitchers of Final, 60-ounce pitchers for $12.
Yeah.
Just because they thought that was economics.
Well,
realizing
how would you
that
not
you
purchase
would
that every
die.
time?
But you
Well, that's the thing too, is that we've actually talked about that because there was a bar up in Bay City that did that too on Midland Street, and I'm doing their menu because I do restaurant point of sale, and I'm doing their menu, and I thought it was a typo, and it was $9 for a 60-ounce pitcher.
Well, we've had that at up in Harrison Township. You go to one of those bars where it's 16 ouncer for $4. For $5, it was you get a 24 ouncer. So I said, all right, I'll take 2 of these 24 ouncers, and I have to speak to your manager because I just bought this for cheaper than I can buy it at work.
Well, I'd be curious. So in regards to the economics of a triple and a quad, these high heading beers that you guys have, because some of these beers are really some of them that you're known for. Between Sin Eater, Final Absolution, Killer Bee, all of these beers, Armageddon, Grand Cru, all these beers are huge beers. Does that high alcohol translate into how expensive it was made?
They're
or is it
extremely high priced beers to make.
okay?
Because we use for our Belgian beers only Daneman's malt. So we use like the best quality Belgian malt imported in. We use imported candy sugar for everything, and obviously our hops imported as well from it. So it's an expensive ingredient in the first place.
So is that
And
the
there's a
same for
whole
your
lot of
double,
it.
like Double Dragon?
Yep, every style we have, we use the malt from the country of origin at which the beer was developed. So our English beers or anything UK based is Paul's malt. Anything Belgian based is Daneman's malt. Anything German would be Weyermann, and American malts would be Briess.
Would be what? I'm sorry?
Briess malt.
Breeze? Okay.
Yeah. And so every malt is, we're using the exact same ingredient as the best people in the world are using for their beers, only our water's better. So
That's definitely. I was always curious because learning the economics of beer, especially after our New England IPA challenge, and learning how expensive those
Yes.
kegs are for sure.
I mean, and that's just, I feel like I'm throwing away hops every time I make one of those.
Well, you can't reuse the yeast too in that too, correct?
No, but I mean, if you have 2 beers going on, for us, we have 20 barrels of Eric the Red brewing, and then if we brew a siphon off of that and make an East Coast, we'll just siphon off every batch of Eric the Red, and it's essentially reusing the yeast, just not off that same fermenter.
Well, I mean, I'm referring to like a New England IPA.
Yeah, for New England IPA, we can't reuse the yeast in that particular fermenter. But if we have a batch of the same yeast going next to it, we'll just make the last run of yeast to be on that one.
Speaking of which, you have a New England.
We
IPA.
do have a New England IPA,
Funny,
which
I'm
you
gonna
guys
bring that
want.
up myself.
I'm going to shake this up a little bit.
Did you give it a silly name?
Yes, it is Brooks and Dragonmead New England IPA.
Oh, very clever.
Yeah.
Did you work with Carrie over there?
Yep. We were thinking about naming it something like Bandwagon or
Well, I think Axel's was called Old News.
yeah.
Or yesterday's.
Yesterday's news. There
Yesterday's.
you go.
So
How fitting.
Now, you've had this for a while. Didn't I drink this at last spring's Warren Beer Fest?
that's what we actually brewed it for.
okay.
Originally, and we just kept making it.
Yes.
I was going to say, still?
Yeah, but I mean, the New England
Kenneth's here, but
style.
nobody drinks it.
It's kind of cool how this is one that really only small breweries can make because it's such a fluky beer. It's really hard to keep the beer good. You have to really monitor it, and it'll go bad really quick. You dry hop in multiple stages of fermentation, so that's not really safe for beer. You can't have kegs sitting around. You have to pretty much ship your kegs upside down in order to have a good product at the final location. And it costs a lot, and you have to be really, really careful as you hop entirely in the whirlpool. So it really, you can't be a big guy and make it. However, Boston Brewing and that other hop place from out west, not Anchor,
Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada.
I'm looking at the article
okay.
right now that New York Times just posted.
Yeah, they're making one. We'll see how that works, but right now it's pretty much something that just a small guy can do in small batches.
So my mouth's watering.
That's why I'm kind of. I have it open, and we're just kind of looking.
Oh, yeah, we're
at
supposed
it.
to do this in the glass.
Yeah. It's in the glass because it looks awful.
Because it looks awful.
It looks awful. Ew.
It kind of looks like burnt orange juice.
It looks like after I get out of a hot tub.
Oh, come on.
I was gonna say I like that color until you made that.
Or if you've had a little bit too much vitamin B.
Oh. Here's
Yeah, this is definitely.
Yeah, it's. And I figure we can look at it first, and people will. I have a hard time describing what the actions people will do for New England IPAs without being too vulgar on the radio.
Matt, bring it down a little.
That's what you need to be.
There you go.
You got to be in front of the camera, not above it.
Right.
But I mean, I hate it that I actually really like it.
You sound like Evan over at Baffin.
We have the same thoughts on New England IPAs. We're like, man, it's
This
good.
is this
damn
is
it.
like this is like a session New England IPA though.
Yeah.
It's very mild.
It should be mild. It should be sweet, and you should have a butt ton of aroma.
I don't
and
feel like I'm
chunky stuff in
eating
it.
the peel of a citrus fruit, which is
No, it's. I mean, as far as that aroma, it's got that steak
Yeah.
on it, without a doubt.
It just feels so bizarre to not do a single addition in a boil kettle. I mean, like, what is a boil kettle for then? Why do we have one? It just when you're just constantly putting it in whirlpool and then in fermentation, you're dealing with such high alpha hops in such really highly calculated quantities at a calculated time. It's like trying to get high in a quarter of a hit of something. It's like
Betterandro.
yeah. Half a hit will really screw me up, so I want a quarter of one. How do you really regulate your buzz that way? How do you regulate your IBUs when it's all in secondary and all in whirlpool? So
I would say you just make multiple batches till it's the right one, right?
because these are cheap.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Griffin Claw does, because their Nada Cop has changed drastically between
17
each
different
batch.
I should say they've changed it way too many times. I thought after they changed it the third time, it was perfect right there.
Yeah.
And then they change it again.
Well, a lot of it's just the amount of time. I mean, even just your atmospheric pressure will affect your boiling temperature, which will affect how much IBUs are extracted when it's under your boiling temp. So, I mean, you're putting everything in the very end. You're still getting all the aroma, and you're getting some IBUs extracted. Some alpha acids are isomerizing.
Right.
But you're not getting the full amount that you get with a 60-minute boil. You're also not getting any of the effect you'll get from bittering with a 60-minute boil.
So, as a brewer, Why is this a trend?
As a consumer, it's a trend.
Well, yes, as a consumer, but as a brewer, you can articulate more in regards to why people are going towards these styles. Like, it makes sense. People like the darker beers because they're heavier, they're sweeter, a little hotter. People like the pilsners because they're easier, they're crushable. You know, people are going more towards pils, lagers, kolsches. You know, what is it about the New England IPA, just like the West Coast IPA, that just everyone fawns over?
I think people like the New England IPA because they really didn't like West Coast IPAs to start with. I think that they were way too bitter, and people realize that. Maybe they don't realize it now, but they're starting to think that beers can also be drinkable. They can not taste outrageously bitter and still have the aroma and flavor of hop. Pretty soon they're going to be into English bitters and, you know, English pale ales, and not even realizing, as long as we call it some outrageous name like a New England Session IPA or something.
Has that always just been? It's just like the having people discouraged from English bitters just because they're just called English bitters?
Exactly.
Well, that's what Saugatuck changed their name. They changed their name from ESB to
Third Bear.
Third Bear.
Yeah. We can probably rename our English mild unicorn fart or something, and people go nuts over it. But the name Crusader doesn't seem to really ring in the pound sign generation.
I really want to see what unicorn fart would do. Can you do that just for a weekend?
I just might
Call it unicorn fart and see if there's an uptick.
or just
Put
zombie
2
unicorn
lines
white
on.
name.
Put the original name and then put unicorn farts and then see which one generates
Write
more
the exact same.
sales.
Oh, it'll be the exact same
description.
beer.
Yeah.
It'll be
It's same description on the board.
That would be a wonderful
it'll be the
test
same
to
beer
see.
too. Like the exact same keg. We'll see how many
Really
kegs of the
put beer
same
drinkers
batch.
to the where they put their money where their
I
mouth
mean,
is.
So-
most people would just be drawn just from the name alone. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, once you go to black, I mean, sometimes you end up going for certain beers.
I
just
hate
because
to
it's
tell
your
you,
name.
but the name's taken.
Oh, really?
Unicorn fart?
Unicorn Farts is taken by Schematic Brewing.
What about unicorn
What kind of
piss?
beer is it?
It is
Unicorn
an
Piss.
IPA American. It's got a 418 on Untapped right now.
Wow, that's actually a good rating.
No, unicorn piss is taken too.
Oh, damn.
Unicorn dick.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
what's unicorn?
Can I say
piss?
that on the show, by the way?
Unicorn piss.
Yes,
is,
you can.
Okay.
Is an American pale ale from Fiasco Brewing. Or from there's a couple of them.
You should look at this.
Unicorn
like,
Tears?
I highly suggest, and I'll try to add it to the show notes, but Untapped Unicorn Farts, and you'll get this giant, like, flying unicorn with a rainbow fart coming out of its ass. Like, literally, this is the most interesting thing in the world. Like, this is marketing at its finest,
Nope.
for sure.
You said it's an American IPA?
Yes.
I wish it was just something like an English bitter.
Well, that's it's interesting, and I'd be curious to get your take on this because, and we might bite into the news a little bit. Sorry, Rob, but
That's okay. I'm all right with that.
with Innovation Brewing,
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah.
Winning
Innovation Brewing.
Bell's
winning the
one, yeah.
lawsuit against Bell's. You know, have you guys gotten C&Ds before? I mean, with 50 plus beers, you had to have
From
taken
Bell's,
a
actually.
name. Oh yes.
Yeah, our instead of Hoppus Day, which is our Belgian style IPA, which I just don't like that phrase in general because it's not a thing. But it was our high hopped Belgian style ale. Holy Hop Solution was originally going to be the name, and like before we can even put a tag on it, we got a cease and desist because apparently one of the beers they made in the Central Cafe was one. Which, you know, why have a copyright if you don't, you know,
Enforce it.
So I mean, I get it.
I'd be curious when they made it because it's not on Untapped at all.
Yeah. Oh, we searched everything, so it wasn't like we didn't do our due diligence and seeing, you know, the way I figure is if you can type it in Google and it shows up as something else, it's probably not yours. We had that same problem with a Dragon Meadery.
Oh, there we go. Because it's called Hop Solution Ale, not Holy Hop
Yeah.
Solution. But apparently, Hop Solution is what they.
Well,
But what we
yeah.
were gonna fight it, you know. I'm not gonna. It was for a beer that we sell like maybe 12 kegs a year of it.
A German distilled double IPA,
Yeah.
according to Larry Bell, is Kalamazoo Hop Solution Ale. That is ridiculous.
So we got a cease and desist, but we had to deliver one too. There's a meadery called Dragon Meadery, and our meadery is also named Dragon Meadery, which they saw it and then they tried to put a copyright on it.
They did.
You can't.
And you can't put
Double
a
stamp or
copyright.
triple stamp?
Yeah, you can't. Just however many stamps doesn't really change the fact that we were registered with as an LLC in '97 with that same name, and just because you copyright it doesn't mean it's yours.
Right.
So is this continuous? Because I just looked up their website and I see them right now.
Yeah, we are finishing up litigations right now, and it's making us spend money we don't want to spend for something we don't really care about spending it. But in case we send product to Denver or Mead to Denver because of our the Mazer Cup.
Okay.
So we actually have to have in that state
Dragonmead.
as a registered trademark because there's another one. So we can't for competition's sake we can't actually let it slide.
But no bad beef against Black Dragon Meadery.
No, I mean we've always been fans of collaboration and not litigation. I mean we could have got Dragon's Milk, a long time before. We don't want to. We think that's a fantastic beer and don't want any hate amongst the breweries. We just want to, something like Dragon Meadery can't really come on, guys.
So it will again. I think that's what we kind of talk about whenever we talk about this stuff. Is you're protecting your trademark to a point.
Yeah.
There comes a point in time where, like Larry Bell or Bell's and Innovation Brewing, you can't just like.
It's not a bumper sticker. That's yeah.
You will see. I
it,
don't. I don't like. And for me, and I always go back, and this is probably one of the most annoying ones to me is the Namaste Brewing, which is Sam Callione sent the C&D to Namaste Brewing.
Right.
And I'm like,
That's like so anti-namaste.
It's just a lingual greeting. It's
Yeah.
not like it'd be like if you own Chow Brewing or
I'd like to see him just like send a C&D to the Dalai Lama. Hey, we respect you, but we've got the
different industry
copyright.
though, so they might be able to hold on to theirs. It's a different industry. Yeah. There was another one. I forgot about this. 90 shilling from Odell Brewing. We actually had we told them that we had the name before them for 60 shilling or 90 shilling and 60 shilling, and we said that we don't want to fight about this, but they tried to copyright it as well, so we gave them a cease and desist for Michigan for 90 shilling, and we had to because,
of course,
one, it's a style. You can't copyright a style. Again, 90 shilling's a style of beer. And,
okay.
And two, we kind of had to, after telling them we can't back down because then that forfeits our right to sell our own beer in the state if they come to Michigan and we can't sell our beer then,
So they didn't make like 89 shilling or
No, I mean,
92.6 shilling.
I actually just got a fantastic tour of the brewery there, and we had a good time. So went there, delivered it, and said, no bad blood, right? And it was a good time.
Well, that's good. It sounds like it was like, you had to call their bluff.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was.
And I happened to be in Denver or Fort Collins at the time anyway, so it was kind of nice.
So you hand delivered the C&D.
You've been served.
Did you walk in with a scroll
like,
and just announce it?
Winnie Odell, you've been served.
I need to speak to your manager.
Can I ask what this is about?
The problem is we went to New Belgium right before, so we were kind of pretty buzzed right before on their competitors' beer. It wasn't a good thing.
I
Did
still
you
love
try that beer? Was it any good?
Oh, I love 90 shilling. It's a great beer. I don't think it's a stylely accurate 90 shilling. I think it's more of a 60 shilling. It's much lighter beer, more easy drinkable than a 90 shilling should be. But
I've never heard. What style is this? I've never heard of
90 shilling. It's the Scottish style scale was based on a taxation level based on alcohol content, and so the 60 shilling would be less alcoholic than 80 shilling, which is a popular beer in Scotland. The 90 shilling was a different one. 120 shilling was about the same alcohol as a wee heavy, but it was a different style. Or a wee heavy was a strong ale, and a 120 shilling was just a drinking beer that was really alcoholic.
Obviously, I think we just need to go right down the road to Royal Oak Brewery because they've got 90 shilling right on tap right now.
Yeah, but they don't try to copyright it.
Oh.
They weren't sending.
Oh, that was the issue. I understand
They weren't
now.
sending us. They weren't sending us a C&D, and then us proving it that it was false, and we actually had it before registered.
Gotcha.
So-
I understand now.
So yeah, the TTB had us on record having 90 shilling before. But I don't care if someone. It's a style. It's not a name. But if you try to claim that it's your name, then I'll go against you and say it's not.
You'll be served in no time.
Yeah.
Right.
So before we take a quick break, so this is my quick little Final Absolution story. So there was a bar up in Rochester who used to do growlers of Final Absolution.
Which one?
Tappers.
I had a
still-
roommate that
it's-
actually worked there. He was the bar back at the time, and
So
There still is said bar.
my cousin owned it at one point. So I knew about it. Knew they had the growlers there. They literally had Dragonmead growlers, and that's literally the only thing they growlered was your Final
You don't
Absolution.
want growlers in Miller Lite?
No, not
Come on,
interested.
Matt.
So
Help my sales bonus that month.
so this was 2009. I went to the bar, got
month.
the growler, and I'm getting ready for the 2009 NFL draft.
No.
No,
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
Charles Rogers.
So I believe at that point, like Mark Sanchez was like the big thing. Like everybody wanted Mark Sanchez instead of Matt Stafford. So I remember drinking a lot during this time. So I drank the entire growler to myself. So after that, I went to a very little known, as we've talked about before on the show, Kuhnhenn's Fourth Dementia from a bottle.
Oh.
And I started drinking that at pick number 20, Brandon Pettigrew.
Oh, yeah. And were you doing intravenous heroin by round two?
Well, I had to calm down somehow. So I recall like just passing out. Like that's the first time I think I'd ever passed out because of alcohol. Never blacked out at that time. I'd had later in my life, but I passed out, woke up at like 4 a.m. I'm like, and my friends are awake, so I'm thinking it's like 10 at night or something. Like, no, it's 4 a.m. They're watching TV and shit. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go home now. So, but that is my pitcher growler of Final Apso and 3 bottles of Fourth Dementia.
yeah, that's
Way too much.
That was back though when I was drinking like 5 or 6 nights a week. Like I had this, and I was 20, so I had the stamina. Not 20, but like 23, 24. So I had the stamina to be able to do it. But we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Better on Draft Podcast. And we are live back with Better on Draft Podcast. Spencer still in studio with us. Thank you very much for hanging out and having some fun with us. As always, with segment 2, as I'm trying to get something ready so that
Trying to get that music ready.
Rob can see what I'm looking at to start with. If you look at the orange, please pay attention.
I mean, I can see it.
There we go.
it's
Here
pretty
is
damn bright.
Robert with the beer news.
Again, with some freaking music.
I get my own.
We all have our own music. It's the intro.
Exactly.
Whatever, you know what I mean.
So, Rob, what's going on?
So, hey, it's the news. As brought to you by Zatuna Liquor. As you'll find them at Rochester Road, just south of M59.
You know, you can get
Spot there.
some great beer over there. Go say hi to Jack. You get some beer on draft growlers. You guys got to get some growlers over there. Final Absolution, $10 a growler, obviously.
yeah, right.
Matt was so mad when I just did that. I don't know why.
Yeah, because I wanted to drop Zatuna when I did my segment.
I wanted to drop them. All right.
That's because Matt got the growler probably from Zatuna Liquor.
I got the beer from Zatuna Liquor.
Oh,
I
okay.
see.
No,
I see.
that's
So,
gonna be really hard to figure out.
couple things
later.
we're definitely hitting this week, as I'm sure some of us saw, and I meant to actually bring a bottle of Smuttynose in here, but did not. But the owners of Smuttynose posted a note on Facebook yesterday regarding their brewery, and it basically is not good. The New England brewery that's been open for, let's say, roughly 24 years, feel they need they need a new leader to move the company forward. As such, according to Brewbound, Smuttynose is scheduled to be sold at a bank auction on March the 9th.
A bank auction.
Bank auction.
Really?
Yes, it's gone that far.
Wow.
Apparently, I mean they've been consistently growing for a good 20 of those years, but with the explosion of all of these microbreweries, it just pretty much changed the whole what's the word I'm looking for?
Scene?
Dynamic.
Yeah, the dynamic. Thank you.
Paradigm?
Paradigm.
Sure, if you want to go into office speak there.
It's crazy that they're going to be sold at a bank auction.
Yeah.
As opposed to, let's get ahead of the whole bank
Well, but I
auction
guess-
thing and have someone just buy them out flat
The
out.
thing is that the bank owns. They still hold the mortgage on the building and everything.
And
so,
for them to do an auction, I wonder if they have other loans.
So what, the bank owns the building?
I believe the bank. It was a provider bank. I believe what I saw is that
So-
that actually owns.
Well, the
So you're the
premise
Mr. Real Estate, enlighten us.
Yeah, so the bank has taken possession of the building,
Sure.
and everything inside has just defaulted to them. So the way the bank is going to recoup their losses,
Is
the
by-
bank is not going to brew beer. So they're going to
Obviously.
sell
Right,
the
they're gonna
equipment to
sell.
those
Yeah, I'm
who
sure
will-
J.P. Morgan does know how to brew beer.
Yeah, I mean, they're
I know
probably
he's
in
not
the
a real
game-
person,
They're
I'm just
probably
saying.
in the game somewhere, but they don't have it. They own it just by because anything left in the premises
Sure.
is owned by them. So
Right.
they're just gonna say, "Come buy it." So calling
Yeah.
any mid-sized homebrewers that want to step your game up, I guess.
I mean,
cheap
it's
equipment for sale.
Yeah, definitely. I guess you can go beyond mid-size because I mean, basically, the problem stemmed from them trying to invest in a 32,000 square foot facility that's going to help them produce 75,000 barrels.
Spencer, we were just talking about you guys.
And despite that added capacity, they were really only able to produce 50% of its capacity and contracted some of the excess to a Massachusetts brewer called Night Shift Brewing.
So
Oh,
where
yeah, I love that.
where is Smuttynose located?
I think
New
Smuttynose
Hampshire.
is in is there in New
So-
Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
So you know what? I would just kind of go out on a limb and say it's probably just going to end up down I-5 in Boston.
What,
Really?
why not?
I mean, you've got the
When you have more money in beer than God, and you need a couple more fermenters, just pick it up on the cheap
I mean, what if
and put it in Walden, New York, where you
what-
have your new
what if-
cider.
What if one of the hazy, crazy New England, blah blah
Hazy,
blah
crazy,
breweries
Unicorn
gonna
piss?
scoop up?
something like the Alchemist or I don't know, Trillium Treehouse.
Yeah,
One
there's-
another
Here's
facility.
the new premise.
Even if Night Shift takes it over, because they do really good beer over there.
I
mean,
disagree with all of you.
All right, here's what we're going to do.
Oh.
Oh, what does Ken think?
I think someone from the West Coast will potentially go through it so that they could have East Coast distribution.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Well, the thing is, they
That's
still
an
need a
interesting
location.
theory, considering a lot of people are cutting back, as we were just talking about.
Oh, I agree, but I think there are a lot of bigger names. So, and this is definitely where I want to get Spencer's opinion because we've all talked about this ad nauseum almost on our show. But with brewers having an opening, like Goose Island just opened up another brewer facility over in Pittsburgh. Philadelphia.
Budweiser opened up one.
Budweiser. But still, again, breweries are able to expand, and I think the cost-cutting efficiency of having beer brewed on the East Coast will save a lot of money from shifting from west to east. So if you have somewhere, in Seattle, Portland, California, Colorado, something like that wants to have an East Coast operation, you could get a decent-sized East Coast operation with the facility, with the equipment. Easy.
I mean, if you have to get a brewery that failed and you have to buy it on the cheap, you probably couldn't afford to get the brewery in the first place. If you're going to be spending...
Why can't you take advantage of somebody else's misfortune?
You would have done it already.
That's fair.
Yeah, a lot of it is the programming won't match your programming. So everything that you're trying to run on is not going to be the exact same brewery, exact same beer that you're looking at. I mean, the guys from Boston Beer will send people over to match atmospheric pressures inside of a building to another building to try to make the exact same beer across overseas. You won't get that from just borrowing another building and trying to get it. You pretty much have to build from the ground up.
All right, so I have a thought process. A thought bubble has aroused.
Light bulb.
Let's buy a semi truck. Go pick up these fermenters.
Why can't we rent a semi
I was
truck?
gonna say
Right.
rent would be...
Okay.
I mean,
We're not going to
you
use it again.
You realize, that basically goes into my business, and we don't. we're not going to buy one. 'cause
Okay, so
they're
anyways,
way too
you've
damn
all
much.
seen the Idaho.
Oh no, I'm so into this.
You've
We're gonna
all
use that semi for every beer fest.
Just charter a freighter because it's right off there. You just
Well,
take the
here we go.
Taylor Seaway up.
We'll
We've all
transfer
seen the
it.
Idaho potato commercial where they're driving the Idaho potato across the country, right? So let's get the Idaho potato, like basically that, but ferment beer inside that semi truck with these newly acquired fermenters, and just brew across.
Just
they
brew across
Isn't
America.
that?
Just a
I was
Mad,
gonna
a Mad
say
Max
there's
style, like on the Road Warrior style brewing.
we can do that.
Brew across America.
Thank you for that lovely beer fest reference.
We'll be like those video game trucks that show up for kids parties. Would just be just
For adult parties.
For adult parties, we just show up in a big ass truck.
Tailgate, like when Stone Cold was at LC or not Little Caesars, but Joe Louis, and he had
Joe
the beer
Louis.
truck, and he was squirting beer.
a beer truck.
I'm trying to think because I remember there was a show and I can't remember what it was, but obviously it was along the lines of like Brewdog's, Dark Horse. But what they did is that every week they would try to brew a beer in the most ridiculous way possible. So at one point they went and like they tried to brew a beer under like where like an ice fishing area is. So they tried to brew a beer while underwater.
That is
What?
Brewdogs, isn't it?
It might have been Brewdogs.
Yeah,
it was. I'm
they-
pretty sure they did that where they brewed a beer while driving.
Well, there was one I remember. It was probably about like a year and a half ago where we talked about competition that was going on with Google, where a couple people were trying to figure out if they could brew a beer in space.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Thank you.
That dude has the most fuck you money in the world. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no.
Him and
Fuck you
Elon
dollars.
Musk.
He can buy it.
That would be really tough, actually, because as fermentation continues, everything's going to separate, and you have to somehow drop the CO2 out of whatever container, quote unquote, it's in.
Right. I don't know.
Hold on. Well, what if Elon Musk launched his Falcon 9 and just put a fermenter, like a carboy worth of beer, on the surface of the moon, let it sit there, go pick it up in 8 months and bring it back, and then that would be like actual space beer.
Yeah, no.
I like it. Yeah. I'm down.
Crowdfunded by
If he's down
Microbrewery.
with it, okay.
Yeah, it's-
Okay.
Why not?
All right. Couple of.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So really, one of the big things that I'm always curious about is that with you being a small distro brewery in Michigan, like where do you see yourselves, when you're seeing all these breweries close? Because we've had just as much as we've had breweries open all bunch last year, we've had breweries closed too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the initial thought process when Dragonmead opened. That's why we started a 3-barrel system, actually. We knew that pretty much 1 in every 3 companies is going to be out of business within 5 years. We knew that number doubles in 10, and it keeps on going exponentially. What can we find as a business that'll be most sustainable? And we found that overbrewing was the biggest problem with lots of people. If you can have to get too much equipment and can't fill it, that's essentially taking off an airplane with an empty seat. You're trying to pay back your loans on money that you're not getting in.
So a lot of breweries now, we were just talking about some of them off the air, they don't ever want to have the same beer on.
Yeah.
They always want to have something new. Now, you guys have staples, but I guess you've also been around for 21 years, so you have a lot more credibility. People know your beers. You have a brand, as opposed to ABC Brewery down the street. Yeah. How do you feel about breweries that go with that idea of always trying something new versus having, you've got Final Lapso, which is your flagship, I'd imagine, right?
I mean, they're trying stuff and they're trying new things, so they say. I mean, some things aren't exactly new. It's just not in their portfolio, and they're putting something on every other batch. I personally believe that, people are always going to innovate styles and make good stuff, but you don't have to be bizarre to be good either.
Like how bizarre?
Like, nice.
All right, OMC.
Nice.
Sweet sinners in the front. Okay.
But we're thinking here, like, we know that we're in the sophomore stage of craft beer, where everyone is really into it now. We don't exactly know what's up, really. The average consumer doesn't know what qualifies whatever style as a particular beer. They don't know why a Belgian Gold is a Belgian Gold and a double is a double and a triple and a quad, etc. They just don't know the rules for beer and why they're put in place and what you get when you look at a label. I think as soon as the enthusiast starts to become a connoisseur, things will start to narrow down towards the original-ish styles again.
So you said earlier that 1 in 3 businesses go out.
Yeah, just right off right
So,
off the bat, 5 years.
Using that thought of enthusiast to connoisseur, how many out of 3 are going to take that entire road?
I think it's going to be higher than we think right now. Everyone's really into it, and there's outrageous, really delicious flavors coming out of a lot of places. But someone's going to want to belly up to the bar eventually and just have a good beer. And when you just want a really good beer without something crazy added to it or a bunch of different flavoring, you're going to want an English bitter or you're going to want a Belgian Gold. And I think the numbers of people getting tired with crazy flavors is going to be pretty soon. We're going to have 5 years, a lot more. We're going to have a third of people coming in as being just good beer fans. And we're going to have connoisseurs in another 5 years after that.
So my theory, though, I kind of talked about this last week, is that it's the millennials that are driving craft beer, at least the older version of millennials. What is the makeup of your tap room? Like when you go, it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday or on a Saturday night, what's the demographic that you see?
It's actually really cool. It's you will see someone in a jumpsuit, someone like a grease monkey jumpsuit.
Okay.
You'll see someone in a tie and someone in scrubs at the same table, meeting each other, crossing paths from work, of all ages. It's a kind of a. I always really smile when I see it there because there's no. You can tell they may have been friends or family friends or wherever of all sorts of ages, and it doesn't matter what they do for a living or how much money they make or anything. They come to have a good beer regardless. So we tend to not have it's not entirely young, not entirely old, not entirely men, not entirely women. It's a really, really mixed group of people, and it's kind of why I'm basing it's just people that like really good beer that come.
Now, I don't remember. I don't know how many beers we had, so you might not remember the story. But you were telling me there's there's a certain group of people that come to your brewery to verify the kosher.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Tell us about those guys.
Okay, so we actually have a bunch of we are kosher certified now.
Really?
Yes.
Was that a hard process, out of curiosity?
Actually, no. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler.
All right, okay.
I thought there was going to be a bunch of prayers and like someone wailing against a hot liquor tank or something. And I seriously was really excited, and it was just like, all right, it was just like more like an inspection. Just like, okay, this doesn't touch this. This doesn't touch this. You don't have this in the building. Okay, we're all good. Separated grain room from brew kettles. You don't put lactose in anything anymore, do you? No, okay. And they just made sure that our temperatures were cleaned at a certain, or our fermenters were cleaned at a certain temperature.
Sure.
And then they're like, all right, you're kosher. Just give us some money. And I was like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be like mystical and stuff. But
Mystical.
but we got a lot of rabbis that come in, and it's kind of cool because they'll each come in, they'll take the look. They like to inspect our place because they always leave with. They might have 1 or 2 beers there, but they always take a lot home because they tend to not like to drive with any BAC. So sometimes they'll have root beer there and then bring the kosher beer back and drink it at home.
Nice.
So we get a lot of people at Dragonmead from all walks of life. They were trying to tell us how much money we'd make from the Jewish population at Dragonmead by being kosher, and we broke down the numbers to them saying, no, what you're charging for kosher certification is not going to be it. We said, here's our X amount of people that live within 50 miles of Dragonmead that are Jewish from ages 21 to, let's put a cap on it at 70. Okay, yeah, we have this many people. Assuming they go out once a week, and 5% of them come here, and they buy a beer. even then that number is not going to make sense for this outrageous becoming kosher
Do you have
process.
a large Jewish contingent at Grossbeck in 696?
Yeah, that's what he thought, so, and we don't.
I was going to say, I didn't grow up very far from there, and I don't remember.
I think I was expecting a migration from Bloomfield.
It's much bigger at 10 Mile in 696 than it is over there.
Yeah, but not at Grossbeck. It's 10 Mile too.
But they can't drive on Saturdays to get there. You have to walk on Saturdays.
Oof. Yeah, no.
You don't roll on Saturdays.
Yeah, no.
But so we actually, in case anyone is follows kosher and listens to this, we are kosher certified, and we have a list of all the kosher beers at the pub right now.
So you have beers that aren't kosher as well.
We have ones that were brewed since the recipe's been approved by the rabbi.
Okay.
If we have anything new that's out, it hasn't been an approved recipe yet until they come by for the inspection again. However, it's all actually kosher. Just you have to go through the list of what they personally approved for Passover quality kosher.
Learned something new today.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of that, there's a cool reason why we got kosher certified.
Why is that?
I was refinancing on my house, and the banker at the time was he was
A chosen one?
He was one of God's chosen people, and he was mentioning, Dragonmead when he saw my place of employment, and he's like, I would love to try that beer. I follow kosher now, and I can't drink anything, and I love really good beer. I was like, what does it take to be kosher? Because I have no clue what it took or anything. I'm not Jewish. I don't follow any kind of rules or anything, and none of us at Dragonmead are. We just figured everyone should have the opportunity to drink good beer. So we mentioned, he's like, I'll give you in contact with my rabbi, and sure enough, I'm like, this is easy. Yeah, we do that already. So now he can drink beer.
Again, it just seems so lackluster the way you're like, I was waiting for, something a little bit more like you had to close the entire day and
I was hoping so.
Maybe they had to test all the beers to make sure they're kosher.
They have to drink every
beer. They had to call their friends over it.
Everyone got drunk. They had to reschedule.
It's like waiting for a joke to start, and then he invited his priest friend and his Buddhist friend, and they all walked into the brewery at the same time.
It needed to be more mystical. That's the thing.
I was just hoping it would be, but it wasn't. It was just, nope, you're good. We can drink it now. So give me one. Yeah.
Have you seen any uptick from it, just in general?
Not really, but
it's cool. You could put it on the packaging, though, right?
Yeah, we can put it on the packaging as soon as we purchase. We are currently redesigning our packaging a little bit, so it's going to include that. But we purchased for lots of our beers, a 5-year supply of some of it, which is a really dumb idea.
If you get to packaging down to a certain point, it makes sense, right?
That was what it was based on, but even then, so where do we put all this stuff?
Out in the alley?
Yeah, so we're like, we probably should just spend a little bit more. We also, we 4-pack everything,
right.
So it's not like it just goes into a 6-pack holder and into a box. We have to, and we have mother cartons, and no one buys a whole case personally of Dragonmead, but we have really nice looking cases, and then in those cases we have really nice looking 4-packs, and then in those we have really nice looking bottles, and we spend a lot of stuff a lot of money on things that people aren't ever going to look at. But a big thing is it keeps it out of the light, and it looks good on the shelf front.
So let's crack open another beer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I happen to have another Collab if you want something lighter right now, or I have a bourbon barreled wee heavy.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Sold.
We'll go lighter in the third segment. Because whatever Matt's got for us is going to be shit anyway. So.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't brought you Swill in weeks.
What was that one Brew Elephant that you had? What did you get to drink?
Brew Elephant?
No, Brew Elephant. No,
I had Boss
Angela
Tweed,
got
and
the Boss
Angela
Tweed.
took it from me.
It's not my fault.
It is your fault.
It
It
is
is
your
completely
fault. Let's
your
not
fault.
beat around the
Oh
bush
my
here.
God.
Speaking of which,
the
So
bush.
I have a question for Dragonmead.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys are kosher. Have you considered doing any gluten-free beer?
We actually did before. It was called The Alchemist.
How'd that go?
They got a C&D from the Alchemist.
Okay, aside from the name. What was the beer? Actually, and was it gluten removed?
No,
I mean-
it was actually gluten free.
Oh.
The hard part about a gluten-free beer is it's like someone saying, "I love wine, but I'm allergic to grapes." It's well, I mean, gluten is a material in beer. You know, you can use sorghum, but
Wait, is there grape-free wine?
no.
Okay, just curious.
There's fit wine now. I just saw.
What's a fit wine?
It's
a
like
reduced
sugar free.
calorie.
Oh, I just thought I think any wine is a fit wine. I can fit it in my mouth.
Just like you're into fitness pizza.
But we made it was sorghum, honey, corn, and I think that was it. And then we fermented it with a Belgian yeast strand. I mean, it tasted. The mouthfeel was completely off because there wasn't any maltose in it. So it'll taste like a completely really dry or just sugar, kind of whichever direction you go, it'll be that. But it was nice to make a gluten-free beer that wasn't a hot bomb, nor was it a fruit beer. It was just a solid Belgian.
So did it go over well with your customers?
Not with the customers as much, but it went off really well with the Great American Beer Festival goers.
Oh, that's good.
So we brought it there, and they really liked it. The people that go to Dragonmead usually, if they're going there, they're not looking for something gluten-free.
No.
Or yeah. But I mean, we had a lot of cider and a lot of mead, so they'll drink that usually
Right.
too. So I mean, given the option of any gluten-free beer or a mead, I'd probably just drink mead.
So what's the name of this beer that you poured us?
This is a bourbon barreled under the kilt, wee heavy. It's not sold in growlers, but I brought one because I can. And,
You make the rules.
we are currently bottling it, and
In 4-packs or singles?
both.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, get what you want. But our bottle machine actually the computer in it fried.
Oh.
In our small 2-head bottler. So we bottle on a 6-head Maheen system, which goes directly from a bright tank, or we go from our 2-head filler, which is on a keg. And we've been trying to figure out how to get this machine from 20 years ago fixed.
Oh,
I mean, things
Old school.
it's a really it looks like it was coin operated
Are
at
you just
some
taking
point.
out, pouring pitchers into bottles at this point?
Yeah, right. I wish that wouldn't ruin beer, as we would. But it turns out that it was the computer is fried in that thing, and no one knows, I mean, how to get a 64-bit bottle computer
Well,
working.
you were just talking earlier. Let's just break out the Nintendo
Yeah,
right.
64.
We gotta blow in the cartridge and put it back in or
Did
something.
you try to blow into the computer to see if that would work?
I think that's what broke it. I think it was,
Did you turn it off and then back on again?
we did do that, and then just broke more.
Did you update to Windows 3.1?
That was probably what did it. It was,
yeah.
which
The Windows 3.1 update?
3.11. That's the one.
Did Apple slow down your battery? Is that what happened?
Did you see that they're making an app now that can stop the slowdown of the battery or something like that?
really?
Yeah, with the new update.
Because they were selling new batteries at just the low price of $29.99.
Yeah, they were doing that too.
Oh, were
And
they?
then they had
Yeah.
to order it, and then you had to schedule an appointment to replace it.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, geniuses. Appreciate it.
Well, they are geniuses. They got you to upgrade your
Yeah, I
phone.
know, right?
Anyways, what do you think of my beer? Back to the
good.
important stuff.
Yeah, that is the important stuff. That is
Wait, did you get one?
You know what? Pour me one.
There you go,
It's going to be
champ.
too big
Just
for
pour
me.
them a little.
Just pour me a sip.
Oh, baby.
What's this one coming in at?
Pour me a thimble of it.
I'm guessing
about-
like about 12.
Actually, this one's not as bad. This is like 9er.
Really?
Untapped
Is
says
this-
8. Untapped says 8.4.
This does not taste like a 9 or an 8.4.
I would say the heat that kind of comes off of it.
I don't get any.
There
Yeah,
may have
just-
been some extra bourbon left in the barrel.
Did you have a 9er in there?
Call him
Are you
from
calling
a
for
walkie-talkie.
Damn you.
Yeah. there may have been some bourbon left, and that kind of
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a bit of that too. And
I think it's on the back though.
yeah.
The back end of that.
So I'm enjoying it. It's nice. It's got a nice.
It's pretty smooth.
It's very smooth, and just that bourbon at the back end it's really nice.
I think what I'm learning about dark beers is I just don't like bourbon.
You not like bourbon?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't like bourbon.
Do you like bourbon without the beer part?
I don't think I do. I don't drink a lot of dark liquor because I'm
I don't
German.
like bourbon either.
So-
So you're English queen. You drink gin and stuff, right?
Do you drink gin?
He's the queen.
I drink a lot of gin. Yeah.
Sounds like he knows you there, Matthew.
I was gonna say, how do you know my drag stage performance? My drag name.
Matt Bush, also known as English Queen over at
Queen.
Gold Coast.
Yes.
He's-
See me at Drag Queen
he's
Bingo.
Dragonmead's Saturday night act.
Do you put the drag in Dragonmead?
Oh boy.
Holy shit, that's a good idea.
Matt can start Drag Queen Bingo every
That's a
Saturday
great
night.
idea.
Where you are in Warren, you would have a revolt.
Dragon Queen. No. Just open up one in Ferndale.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
That's another story to be
Maybe
told.
Boys
often.
Town in Chicago. Dragon Queen. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places down here you can do it.
Or maybe just a beer.
Yeah.
A beer called Dragon Queen.
Yeah.
Rob, let's do one more story before we take a
Greg.
break.
All right, kind of going to go
Queen.
into, one going out and one coming in. So San Diego Brewery Green Flash been getting hit hard with a steady supply of competition, and their declining numbers are now making them do a complete shift in their strategy. So now the brewery is going to be removing distribution out of 33 states. Leaving a focus on more areas regional to the San Diego and Virginia Beach facilities. So the San Diego facility is going to ship beer to Arizona, California, Colorado, Hawaii, Nebraska, Nevada, Texas, and Utah. The Virginia Beach brewery is going to ship products to Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia.
So they were in all 50 states before.
Yeah,
did
they were in
this.
all 50 states. So if you see any on the shelf here in Michigan and you want it, you better grab it now because it is going to be gone.
It's at Doing Liquor. I was there on Wednesday.
Yeah, there you go. Also, with them coming out, Athens, Georgia brewery Terrapin, which has been a very big trade beer that comes around here. That Terrapin is now going to be coming into the state. They're actually on draft right now in select locations here in Detroit, Grand Rapids, and where you moved the damn thing.
I'm sorry.
Grand
on,
Rapids
Ken, what are you doing?
and Lansing. Right now they have Hopsecutioner, which is on, but of course, people have been kind of pissed off for whatever reason. Like whenever anybody posts on beers, the CBYs have to come out and get all pissed off because it's Hopsecutioner and not Wake and Bake.
Am I the only one who thought Terrapin Brewing Company would be out of Maryland?
No, actually, I thought that too.
I would guess so now. I didn't think about it until
Yeah.
now that you mention it.
Yeah.
So, okay, well,
No, you're right.
I got that going for
You're
me.
right. You're right.
And real quick, that I'm just going to announce because we have they announced production in regards to Michigan beer, and that Founders is still the number one non-craft beer in the state of Michigan, whereas Bell's is still the number one craft beer. So good job on both of those.
See what you did there.
Just wanted to get that dig in real quick.
Damn.
We are going to be right back. Better on Draft Podcast.
Ay, ay, ay.
And we are back, episode 116 of the Better on Draft Podcast.
116 or 117?
117.
There you go.
I've probably been saying 116 this entire time.
No,
you
I
started
think
at
that was the
117.
yeah. You said 117 throughout.
It happens all that. I just need. I need to put a Post-it note right on here.
it's the
There you go.
117.
The one after the last one.
The one before the next one.
Right.
It's the 19th.
Episode 117.
Oh, God.
I
Not
see.
January.
Not date 117.
I understood what he was
Star
saying.
date.
Yeah,
January
like start
19th.
date 0119
I get it.
2118.
I was going to say, that sounds like star date right there. With that in mind, we're going to crack open one beer, and then we will start 5 questions. So let's do the Dark Heathen.
Yep. Dark Heathen. This is our collab beer with Kuhnhenn's.
That's a hell of an opener.
It is. Yeah.
Do you need an opener?
I know, because we.
Nope.
Nope, never
He
mind.
made that look easy. I'd be on my way to the hospital by now.
No, that's your fiance. With
Yeah, that is my fiance.
the knife chopping
yeah,
skills.
that was a potato peeler.
My
Hold on. That's too incriminating. Just stick with the knife.
It's the knife.
It was a sharp potato peeler.
I don't think that's.
What do you need a sharp potato peeler for?
For
Oh,
potatoes.
For dull potatoes?
Yeah, exactly.
I actually
Doppel-
She doesn't
Doppelbach.
listen. Who cares?
Oh
my girlfriend's
goodness.
brother got cut his hand with a machete.
What?
And he was working in Palau, which is a tiny Micronesian nation.
Yeah.
We went to visit him because it's astronomically fantastic diving and all that. So we went there, and he was making us some fancy coconut drink, and he's like, "Oh shit! I cut my hand with a machete." I'm like, "How often do you say it that nonchalantly?"
Did he just say it like it was? Oh, it's raining outside.
Yeah.
And I cut myself with a machete.
And they so the next day that dive master was like, "Yeah, just we'll tape that up with some electrical tape there." And he's like, "Yeah, let me guess, machete." He's like, "Yeah."
Yes.
Just apparently that's what they do there is they just cut open coconuts with machetes. That's just kind of like a part of life. So every day, someone's gonna happen.
Is that coconut a little bit overly irony?
Actually, no, it tasted pretty good. It was a little red, but
Wow.
So what are we drinking? This
This
tastes
is-
of dates and raisins.
this
to
is
me.
Dark Heathen.
This does taste of
This-
dates and raisins, without a doubt.
This is Eric Harms and Brett and Eric Kuhnhenn brew this beer every year. It takes place brewing between Kuhnhenn's and Dragonmead every other year. And multiple years we've had some very bizarre attempts at this beer. One of them has boiled overnight at the Kuhnhenn's facility, which just sounds, I don't know, I'd be able to sleep if I knew something was boiling
Yeah.
overnight.
Right.
We had multiple first runnings for several other ones too, where we'd only take the first 10 minutes of a mash and throw another one in. This is a very, very, very strong beer.
You
Nick,
can
are you
tell
okay
by
there?
you can tell
Yeah,
by
I'm
Nick's
fine.
face right now.
I'm fine.
That is.
I mean, this is. I don't get it. I don't really get a
Wow.
kick. I taste molasses and date.
It is it's like 30 something degrees Play-Doh when it starts off. It's
I guess I might as well drink some now.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is
It's something like that. It's really high. Whatever, as high as we can get it to. And we lager it at the end too, so it's really difficult to get it all the way down because it's cold temperature.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. It's like I said, it's super sweet. So I think maybe it's just the bourbon barrel aging that I don't really dig about dark beers. That and the viscosity. So if it's not viscous and it's just
Oh wait, and this
Crisp.
is a triple, right?
No,
That's a
it is a
Doppelbock.
triple
Oh,
bock.
It's a triple,
Triple
bock.
bock.
Okay.
Yep.
My bad.
But I mean, I guess it is a triple something.
Yeah. Man.
All right.
Yeah, no,
Well,
this is good. I'm enjoying
It's
it.
it pours like syrup.
it does.
It does, yeah. It almost
kinda
looks
tastes
like,
like it, too.
it almost
Put this on
looks
your
like
pancakes.
dried soda at the bottom of my glass.
Nice.
Yeah, put this on your pancakes. Really mess up your kids.
That's exactly what we said actually when we first tried it this year. Not to
mean,
mess up your kids,
you-
but
you-
yeah, we'll put it on
You
pancakes.
throw this in a pot with a little extra sugar. Let that sucker boil over. You might
some
put this
caramel?
on.
You could glaze this on
caramelize
your
it. You might put the glaze and put this on some
bourbon
pancakes.
cheesecake.
You probably won't
Oh,
need that
that
much
sounds
more
so
sugar
good.
to it.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, there's
Brown sugar though.
Yeah.
Right.
not necessarily.
That's racist.
No, that would only if he would have gone into either light or dark brown sugar. That's the line.
racist part.
That's the line right there. That's the line.
I'm a habitual line stepper. What can I say?
All right, with that in mind, segment 3, as always, 5 questions.
So
Type in your password correctly.
I've been playing around with some stuff, and I am here to offer you guys a deal. I have
Door number
categories.
3.
I have
I'm gonna
categories.
walk. Oh,
I have categories. So today we can either discuss college mascots or the category. This is why.
Or-
this is why I'm hops.
This is why I'm hops.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want this. Yeah.
Okay. So, question number 1. It's actually ironically geographical as well, so it fits. A German type of hop that shares its name with a category of gases.
Category of gases.
Not that kind of gas.
Noble.
Noble.
Yep.
Correct.
Oh, that's
There you go.
Yeah, I learned something in chemistry
It's the
class.
only German hop that I know.
Well,
What's a
that was
It's the only
class?
kind of
man.
gas I know.
What's a class of hop? It's not like a category, not
I
exactly.
think that's on the far right side of the periodic table.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
helium,
the first eight, I
argon,
believe.
all those. No, oxygen.
No,
Oxygen
oxygen.
has 6. Anything that has a full orbital.
I don't know what that means.
Far right side of the
Yeah,
periodic table.
I didn't take chemistry because there was math involved.
That math.
When I was
Folks,
told,
welcome to your realtor.
It involves
that's why I'm not their mortgage broker.
This one's a good
it
price.
involves the number of electrons.
In the highest orbital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Still
So
doesn't care.
I don't believe that I'll need to start learning chemistry now.
Well, I'm an electrical engineer. I never used chemistry, and I still had to fucking take it. So
I use it every day.
Okay.
yeah, but you don't have
you
a choice.
do?
You don't have a choice.
This kind of hop in 1492 did not sail the ocean blue.
The
Columbus.
Columbus hops.
The Columbus.
I use that in my beer.
Is it the Columbus hops?
Yeah, this got some Columbus hops in there.
Hey,
I
Rob.
was say
I've got for
1492.
you.
That was a
It's
Ridley
actually
Scott
Amarillo,
movie.
right?
Oh
Spencer.
shit!
Come on.
I don't.
Exactly.
I don't miss
Relax.
this.
Hold on.
It's not swill.
Okay, well it's not dark, so
It's not swill. Relax.
What the hell did you pour us?
it's a sour.
Beer
Thank you.
P.
that I bought at Zatuna Liquor. It is not brewed by North
It's
Center
not
Brewing
sour.
in Northville, Michigan. So, a
All it tastes is
3.5,
Dark Heathen right now.
a 3.5 on rate beer. Clear golden colored body with a white head about a centimeter tall. Aroma of orange, grain, light curacao, coriander seed,
Oh wow.
wheat, citrus, and a bit of pure honey. Very nice and strong, medium bodied. Rich wheat and citrus flavors dominate with a lot of grain, curacao, and a bit of honey sweetness. Aftertaste shows a lot of citrus and full orange flavors, along with a bit of grain, unfinished yeast, and a lot of honey sweetness throughout.
smells-
Overall, a very strong and well-structured beer that goes down easily, but it shows a lot of flavors. This person must be Canadian or not American. And most of the definitely worth sampling if you could find this, especially What the fuck? They spelled centimeters and
You
color
okay over
wrong.
there?
Do they spell it centimetres?
They said centimetres and flabours,
METRES.
but there are CENTIMETRE. And
Centimetre.
but this person wrote it
Yeah,
in
metre.
Arlington, Virginia. Pentagon City. So maybe this was a expat or not a.
Maybe it's a
Maybe it's a
diplomat.
diplomat. There we go.
That's
Thank
the
you.
word we're
Thank you,
looking
Spencer.
for.
Appreciate that. So when I first smelled this, I immediately thought sour. But now upon sipping it, it's definitely not.
No.
It's just.
Like
Is anyone thinking
cleaning
it's
products.
Well, first things
Yeah.
first, we have the
Orange,
automatic
citrus.
question: is this a Michigan beer?
yes.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just there.
I'm on the cleaning product part. I mean, it's
when
basically
you're cleaning the bathroom, you
It's-
get that fresh citrus.
it's like
Rob, I
somebody.
just think it's I think you're.
We're drinking Clorox here. What the
I,
shit?
it's actually a Tide Pod.
I was gonna say, is this brewed with Tide
Oh
Pods?
my god.
That'll be a great beer name too.
There you
go.
That would be. That
I
would
saw a
be.
meme that it said
Yeah.
cans are so
Get all the fresh
2017,
21-year-olds in the
putting all the
driveway
damn
with
Tide
Tide
Pods.
IPA.
Tide Pod.
IPA.
Tide PA.
Tide
I'm pretty
PA.
confident that Rob, you just think the flavor of Solo Cup smells like Lever 3000 because anything I put in
No,
there.
because I mean this is. I
Look
mean,
how
it-
many solo cups are in front of him.
it-
He's
it's-
obviously not having an issue.
I have no issues with the cups at all. I just have an issue with this combination of Windex and a New Belgium, Belgian fat tire. I don't know what this is.
I mean, there's a lot of like zest of orange in it. There's
Right.
A whole
It's,
lot of coriander. It's like if someone put like Grand Marnier and Orange Clean in the Whitsun.
there it is, right there.
I mean, not like it's. I kind of like it. But
It's like
So
bl-
this
I'll
is
drink
it's
it.
it's
available
Blue
all
Moon
year?
Ultra.
Well, that would be a question we can ask.
Well, I don't want to ask.
Why not?
Because I.
Well, Angela asked a
didn't talk
question.
about it.
Force it.
No.
Yes, this was canned on 11/28 of 2017.
So would that be considered old?
no.
No, but it's brewed year round, so it's not like
Do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
So obviously we got in the state. Are we going to separate by highways?
By byways and
Well, it was canned, so we know it's a place that either has their own canning line or is Michigan Mobile Canning. If it's their own canning line, we might be able to narrow it down to something that.
Right.
now I don't know. Again, you have to. That's a bad question because I don't know who does and
We have to
doesn't.
keep the questions general. General. We can't.
Okay.
throw
There is no
questions out-
website where I can say,
Right.
do you
Well, that's
miss?
why I didn't want. I was just thinking out loud. I didn't want to use that as a question.
Matt didn't get a tour of the facility, so we need to keep it pretty general.
I mean, I could go
Was
to
the
Michigan.
brewer a Sagittarius?
But you got this at Satuna.
I got this at Zatuna, which has a large selection of Michigan.
It
craft
does
beers.
have a large selection. That doesn't really help us. I have no idea. Like, I am at a loss right now. It'd be something brewed and distroed. So it's not even like necessarily Michigan Mobile Canning where they distro in-house. It's brewed and distroed. You got it at Zatuna,
Yeah, there is just.
and it's brewed year-round.
Rob, do you want more? I have some more.
There is so much orange zest. It's ridiculous.
Is that a bad thing to you?
Yeah, it is. 'Cause there's just way too much. There is too much.
I'm going back to this Dayton molasses juice. Not bad.
It's kind of hard to pick out. I can't even really pick out what style this is because
It'll be
I'm
a
like
Belgian
really hung
whi-
up
or,
on that zesty orange cleaning the bathroom.
It's a Belgian wit.
Simply
is what they're-
orange.
what they're looking at, but you don't have
Who brew? Okay.
you don't have the esters of the as much of the esters, or they're hidden by the orange.
What Spencer said.
Thank you.
So dead air sucks. So do we have
Yeah,
question number two?
Is it ooh? But I think maybe latitude might be a proper question, or is it like east or west of Ann Arbor?
Yeah, I guess we could do Ann Arbor.
Oh.
Is it west of Ann Arbor?
Yes.
Okay.
Shit.
So Lansing, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Traverse City.
Yeah. So maybe something by.
Dark Horse, Battle Creek.
I don't think it's a dark horse.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe
This tastes better than Dark Horse
Yeah.
beers.
Now I kind of want to
Ouch.
keep my mouth shut because I might get in trouble for accidentally slamming someone. So
No,
Just
please
tug on his
tell
beard.
us.
I'm signing off.
Just tug on his beard when he gets close.
I have nothing. Like I'm busy like trying to think of breweries on that side that can. So Dark Horse does not can. Bell's does. Founders does.
New
Right
Holland
brain.
does.
New Holland, Right Brain. But what's I don't know a like a Belgian style wit.
Shorts.
Shorts.
It could be a shorts.
Yeah.
Shorts has a lot of beers.
Shorts does have a
That's
lot of beers.
A lot of beers.
So I guess it would be north or south of Midland. This is your next one.
But we only have one more question.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we've already
Older or newer than 10 years, maybe.
no, that's still too dangerous.
Yeah.
That is-
It can't be a shorts. I feel like you wouldn't pick a short. There's too many to.
I pick my shorts when I get a wedgie.
yeah, but there's a lot, but they're not all year round. He said they're year round.
And I mean, we've got west of Ann Arbor, but and I feel like whatever question we come up with, we're still going to have a big contingency. So what if we did north or south of Flint?
I don't know anything.
All right. Well, we're so far away. We might as well.
All right. So we have three. We have a third question.
I'll give you 4. You guys seem to be on the struggle base.
Okay.
Thanks.
I really just want to ask if it's a shorts beer.
Struggle Bus is eating spaghetti sandwiches and shit.
I don't
you
think
know?
it is because it's all year, and I don't know of any all year Belgian with it.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's
Depends
either
about
shorts
clues.
or founders.
But what beer?
I see the thing is that I'm stuck on Soft Parade, but it's not as sweet as Soft Parade is.
That's not soft.
But I don't know.
I don't even know what founders it would be. I'm kind of leaning towards.
Well, I don't.
New
Yeah,
Holland.
I don't know what founders. So I guess we could do what's a good. I mean, New Holland is south of 96, technically, right?
Maybe.
As I should know Michigan geography better than anyone in this damn room, but I'm pretty sure New Holland's south of 96 because New Holland's off of 94.
That is correct. Well, this would take me north of 96.
So
we know it's north of 96. Wait,
I don't know.
that's because I understand. I understand now. Yeah,
Here's how the directions take.
because the way that 96 goes.
It's south of 96.
Well, it would be south of 96 because 196 is south of Holland.
Right.
So, all right. So let's do this. I got this. Is this south of 96?
No.
So it's got to be Traverse City. Traverse City doesn't cancel. It's got to be Shorts. What is north of 96, west of Flint, west of Ann Arbor?
There's Petoskey, right?
Does Petoskey can?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Juicy.
And they could do they do Horny Monk race. They could do a Belgian wit.
I don't. Yeah, but well, I guess I don't think this is juicy though.
Well, no, I was just saying that Juicy comes in the can.
Yeah, no,
but
it does.
So I think we're stuck between Petoskey and Shorts as cannibal beers from that area.
What about and I guess I've never had one, so I'm not sure what the color is.
Throwing in the towel.
But
You're throwing in the towel?
No, you guys are. You guys are so
No.
far. Okay.
we're so far
no,
off.
it's just a UP beer.
that's what I was going. That's what I was going with my question.
Black
because-
Black
Rocks?
Rocks. Yeah.
No, I wasn't really going Black Rocks because I wasn't sure what the
Keweenaw
color
Brewing,
of what the
Keweenaw.
color was with one of his.
Keweenaw doesn't can
Yeah, they do.
it.
Yeah, they do.
Hold on. I didn't even finish my sentence. Keweenaw doesn't can that many beers. This is not... They just do their classics like the red, the blonde, the coconut.
And that one wit beer they do.
What is
But no, I'm
it?
kidding.
And that one whip.
That one.
And there's that one that is his favorite, which, like I said, what I was going at is that I don't know what the color is because I've never seen it. He just drinks that shit. Is that damn Sheboygan blood orange honey?
Oh yeah.
I think that's it.
That's the only thing I could really think of, which it now makes me question what the hell.
Sheboygan.
All right, let's
I
all
don't
in, you
think-
guys. Let's just go.
Oh,
Sheboygan.
we got one more.
Let's just do it. That's
Is
what
this in the upper or lower peninsula?
It's not a yes or no question.
Is this in the upper peninsula?
No.
Okay. Let's do it. Is this Sheboygan blood orange
Yes,
honey?
it is.
Nice.
So what are you questioning now, Rob?
I'm questioning the styles of shit that you like.
I don't get any honey.
I guess I was
It's all
like every
orange
time I
zest.
saw the can was like blood orange honey. I'm thinking, there's gonna be. I guess to me,
I only
don't-
got you like 2.5 ounces of it. So
I know, but for me, I don't get the blood orange. I just get flat out.
Orange peel.
Yeah, I just get orange peel, and it's just.
But is it bloody orange peel? Did someone chop themselves with a machete before they?
Oh my gosh.
All right, so back to this is why I'm hops.
You're hops because you're fly.
You ain't because you knops.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Wow.
McDonald's sells these kind of in boot shapes.
Nuggets.
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 One of the 4 shapes of chicken McNuggets that they have.
This style of hop shares its Western name with a slim poker player.
Phil Ivey.
No, Slim. See it?
Shady.
Yes.
Hotter than a set of
Shady
twin
hops.
babies. Is it Shady? No. Like Slim, he doesn't play poker. Phil Ivey's the only like really skinny
No,
poker
it's
player I
Slim.
know. Slim. Daniel Negreanu.
No.
Ay, ay, ay.
Moneymaker?
No.
Chris Moneymaker ain't Slim.
He ain't Slim.
I don't know.
Types of hops.
Types of hops.
Say that question one more time.
Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate.
This type of hop shares its Western name with a slim poker player.
Oh, so
Oh,
it's
the
a
old,
hop-
the old dude.
Doyle Brunson?
Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Amarillo
Amarillo.
Slim.
Amarillo
See
Slim.
what I did there? You see?
Yeah.
all
I have
right.
no
I was
idea what
thinking
you did
Western
there.
name. I keep thinking, like, is it like a Japanese hop? Or like,
Amarillo's Texas.
That's the far west.
Yeah.
Amarillo
Amarillo
for the
Slim.
Far East.
That's right.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, so the Western name would be the translation of whatever it would be.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, this type of hop was named after the valley in Oregon in which they grow.
Dysentery.
What is this, Oregon Trail?
Yes.
You got muted before I did.
Oh my
New record.
God.
Wow.
Oh, get that out of here.
Dysentery. Jesus Christ. And you have officially taken
Now,
the show off
Spencer,
the
if you were to
rails.
have a dysentery hop, would you use it?
Dysentery hop?
Well, it'll probably go into the beer name. It'll probably be like, you died of dysentery. Or,
Right.
I was
or
gonna say
like,
Oregon
what did Terry
Trail.
do to you?
Wait, hold on. Stop.
River
It's
Fjord.
right on the nose. Oregon Trail. TRALE. No?
Trail
No? All
hopper?
right, hold on.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I see it. It would have to be in the packaging. Have to have like a
Yes,
capital A.
Yeah.
I feel like there'd have to be a picture of Christopher Walken holding a watch. Your father died. Dysentery.
So we st-
Watch up in his ass.
So we still need to know the
What did Terry ever do to you?
the Oregon Hop Valley.
Oh, is there a Chinook Valley?
I don't know. You know more about hops than I do.
Yeah, I don't know like where the valleys are in Oregon.
I am not familiar with any Oregon valleys
Oh,
either.
it should not.
The answer is Willamette.
Totally wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, no idea.
Willamette hops. So those are your five.
I didn't know those.
Fives.
So going back to the slim poker question, Ken, because you and we both play poker. Cool.
I do.
Um,
About to say quite a bit. I haven't played poker in like 2
I
years.
know, me neither. Amarillo Slim actually won the main event, the World Series of Poker main event in 1972.
Oh yeah, I
Do
Do you know
totally
how
knew
much?
that.
Do you know how much it was back then?
Probably
Like
a
the
million.
$25,000.
No.
25,000.
higher than 25,000.
30.
You're close.
100.
60,000.
Oh,
$60,000 for
such
the
an
main
arbitrary number.
I know.
Let's open up one more beer
Yeah.
before we head out.
Right here, I have one more collab. It's a Crystal Vice.
A Crystal Vice.
Yes.
Don't throw at me with a good time.
I'm going
Right.
to start passing the jug around as opposed to pouring because we're running low on cups.
Bring it up.
Oh, we'll just steal more. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
6 cups on the table
we're
unused.
good. You can pass it.
So what's up with this beer?
We did a collaboration brew with Falling Down Brewing Company.
or a
Light.
lighter? Okay.
Yep, lighter beer.
Yeah,
I
just throw it in
figured
my-
we realized we had so many collabs in the tap room right now that I kind of wanted to
Get rid of them.
show. Well, actually, no. We
Nice
just
pour, Pele.
tapped the Crystal Vice today.
Whatever.
Let's show that pour right on the camera.
Yeah. You know
Look
what?
at that. Look at that pour, Nicholas.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't.
You don't what? You don't care about the beer.
So it
The
says
brewmaster's
Nagle.
right next to you.
I never said I didn't care about the beer, jerk.
What's the name of this beer again?
It's Falling Dragon. Falling Dragon Crystal Vice.
It says Nagelweiss on it. Isn't it?
Yeah, because I didn't have a Crystal Vice sticker.
So what are we going to get off of this beer?
It's going to be a really normal Hefeweizen kind of a flavor. Only it's going to be a lot cleaner and a lot smoother than you get from a typical wheat beer. We filtered everything out.
Smells like applesauce.
I love the review that I found on Untapped. Hello, Cardamom. We meet again. Nothing else. Not horrible or strong, but there it is.
For
For Falling Dragon.
oh really?
Yeah.
It's already rated.
It was rated on November 11, 2017 by
didn't
Matt
release
B.
We didn't release
Dang.
it till
No, I'm kidding.
we didn't release it until today.
Halmich Field B.
Oh, that was on the for the event. Okay, cool.
Frostbite thing?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but you had your beer at the event over on
I wasn't there
Halmich.
at the time. Yeah.
So yeah, is this rye that I'm catching?
Nope.
I mean, I can catch the cardamom as he brings it up.
It'll be pretty much very bare, just a wheat beer that's completely filtered out. So the idea is that you can really, really drink a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Here you
can.
go, Ken.
Yeah, you
go
can.
ahead.
You can just go.
Well, I don't want to get all over the boards.
Oh, I know. You can use 2 hands. You're a big boy. You're strong. Strong like Hulk. Wait, hold on.
I use my stick.
Hercules, Hercules.
Well,
There
hey.
you go.
Less head than Nick gave you.
Heyo.
Oh, shut up.
Da 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 da.
Right. Moving on.
All right. Well, Yeah, the beer is delicious. So Dragonmead, where are you guys located?
We are on 11 Mile in Groesbeck, and the service drive is 696.
And how can they find you on the socials?
Probably look us up.
Probably look us up
Well, probably under Dragonmead for most of them.
under Dragonmead. All right. And you guys been open for 21 years now?
Almost 20. We're going on 21 right now.
Going on 21. Anything big for turning legal?
We did a really big 20th anniversary party at the Park and Warren
Holmich.
Yes, thanks. So we did like a brew with like a homebrewers brew day with some other breweries as well. Baffin was there, Kuhnhenn brothers were there.
Yeah, it was last March, right?
Yeah, everyone celebrating our 20th, which was kind of a really nice party.
Do you guys have any events coming up anytime soon?
Oh,
Like a beer dinner maybe on the 30th?
yes, thanks. Yeah, we got that one going on.
So are you guys doing food now, or is this going to be outside catered?
That one is actually being done by the same people that do our food. Denny, excuse me there, out of, we used to call it Dragon Bones when they came over, but
Lazy Bones.
Yeah, Lazy Bones does
love
the
Lazy Bones.
Yeah, they're a kitty corner from us on Groesbeck, so they actually do all our food now. So they run the entire
Nice.
kitchen. We don't touch anything. We're not cooks, and we don't claim to be. They are the cooks, and they do everything really well.
Especially
So,
that
fun
bacon
fact,
fried rice. This stuff is
Denny
amazing.
also
fried
runs
rice?
the kitchen at Brown Iron. So if you are north of Dragonmead and you're craving that food,
How
come
many
to Brown
miles
Iron.
north? About
About
16 miles north.
15
about
and a half.
16.
Yes.
So I see that you guys, looks like you have like a monthly yoga event over there as well.
Yes. Apparently,
Do you
we
do yoga there too?
I personally do not, but I'm sure there are people that do.
Oh, I'm sure they've been running it for a few
they
months.
did, it is there, and actually here it's popular. I've actually been invited to it by some friends of mine as well. Saying, "Are you going to the yoga?"
So
thing?"
you're invited to your own establishment?
Yes, I've been invited. Say, hey, you should go to the yoga.
How
thing."
nice of them to invite you.
I know. It's,
Right.
it's like, hey, we're gonna, if I have friends from out of town that came in and say, "Hey, we're going to do some yoga there. You want to go?"
Not
Said,
particularly. Will there be
no.
bacon fried rice? I might have to figure that out.
Well, they do have a brunch snack in this upcoming one, so maybe they have. I just found a place and I'm so excited over in University
Are you
Park.
so scared?
No. I see what you did there. You didn't bring me a bottle. I was a little upset.
Yeah, that was a bad week.
So with that, we had they're Iraqi, so it's Middle Eastern type food, and they have like a Sunday brunch, and they do like lamb and hummus and all these like delicious foods, and I'm like, oh my god! Like I had food there today, and I'm like, this is terrible because I'm gonna come and just demolish a brunch one day. So that's gonna do it for us. Folks, Better on Draft. Spencer, thank you so much for coming, Dragonmead. Go check them out in their events. Our sponsors, North Center Brewing over in Northville, Michigan. Definitely check it out. As holy crap. Sorry. Thank you, Matt.
What was that about?
I guess we'll find out after. But
I read that. Okay.
yeah. Anyways,
I'll
where am
show
I?
Spencer.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Closing
North
the
Center
show.
Brewing over in Northville, Michigan, just south of Baseline on North Center Road. We also have Brown Iron Brew House over on Van Dyke, M53, not M53, Van Dyke,
26
just
miles.
south of
M53
27.
is Van Dyke.
M53 is Van Dyke Freeway. Van Dyke Road up there is not 53.
The whole stretch of Van Dyke is at all times M53.
So there's two M53s up there?
No, at any point, Van Dyke is M53, just like Woodward is always M1.
That's,
That's
not
geographical
true.
bullshit.
We also have Zatuna Liquor over on Rochester Road, just south of 59 on Rochester Road in Rochester Hills. Go say hi to Jack, get some beer. And no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft. Have a good night, folks.
Peace.